Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2 of Chop It Up with Coach Tej on the Nexus Wolves YouTube channel. I am joined here by a good friend, a man who's far younger than me, but I consider a coaching inspiration, someone I model after. And we've been trying to do this for like 3 months.
Yeah.
But if anybody knows Mark, Coach Mark, he might be the busiest man in youth basketball. And between the two of us, we just have not been able to get together until finally made this happen. I guess the snowstorm closed up enough gyms that I finally got Mark in here. So welcome, Coach Mark from HG Elite. Mark, you're literally coming from practice right now, man. Is that right?
That's it. Straight from practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday nights.
Yeah, Mark reminds me of this old Method Man skit where he's like, A.K.A. Johnny Blaze, A.K.A. Johnny Steele, A.K.A. Aaron Lund. He's the hoop guru. He's the head coach of HG Elite. He's running training. He's running academies. This man is out there. So if you're in youth basketball, you have seen him at one of the gyms. He's either at TAT or at the Hoop Dome or at Six Park. This man lives on the basketball courts. Mark, so let's start right from the beginning. You and I met each other, it was about 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
I think the highest honor I can pay Coach Mark is he's who I took my son to train. And if you're a dad out there, you know that's the highest compliment you can pay is another coach is being like, I'm a coach, but I'm going to trust you with my son. Mark, where are you at right now? Talk to us about HG Elite. Let's jump right into it. What's the project all about?
Okay, so the project's all about development, right? The main thing is development, and then also being able to get kids to the path that they want to get to as well, right? Giving them the platform to also show their skill and also blossom in a situation that they might not have been able to have before, right?
Okay.
So that's what my job here is like for HG Elite that's the vision. It's making sure that guys have a safe place, but also have a great place to also develop and grow.
Okay. And HG Elite and the Hoop Guru, you do your private training. How do you wear two different hats? Like, do you find yourself wearing two different hats when you're a coach versus when you're being a trainer?
I think sometimes it's a little complicated, but it's easy to kind of put. Oh my goodness. Oh. Sometimes it's easy to just wear the different hat as well, right?
Yeah.
Like you're a little bit more critical with their game when you're the trainer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also good being the coach because you can see exactly what they're doing wrong, then bring it into training and really like break down their game so that they can get it to the next level.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? If you were to pick up and say tomorrow's going to be my perfect day, is it a mixture? Is it leaning more towards one side? What part of it do you enjoy more?
That's a tough one. Because there's nothing like game day.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like getting that prep before the game, like that excitement before the game, playoff games. But if I had to choose, I would say more of being the trainer.
Okay.
Because I really like developing and watching the kid grow from the minute that you had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Let's go backwards a little bit. Mark and I have been teammates before. We played together in Brody League. And went into things. Mark played, you played. Talk to us about, we don't got to go backwards to the playing career, but talk to us about what made you get into coaching. What was the transition from being a player to saying, you know what, I want to coach one day?
Honestly, I see myself like when I was in men's leagues and when I had a neighbor beside me, I was starting to like coach people in a certain way. Like I always had a good mind for the game, like
Sure.
X and O wise. Always 2 to 3 steps ahead. I feel like that was the beginning. Like honestly, I had a kid that lived right beside me, and he was trained. Like he wanted to train. Parents couldn't afford it, and this was after me playing. So during COVID, I trained him for free. Kept going. I started to enjoy it. I kept seeing that he was getting better, and he was eager to learn. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I could make like a little side business out of this.
Sure. For me, Mark, it was during COVID, man. I couldn't go to work. Work was closed.
Yeah.
And the Raptors had won in 2019. So Nahal had just gotten into basketball. And I had the rim on the driveway. Thank God I had gotten it that previous summer because I don't know what I would have done. So it was like March when COVID hit. We went to the driveway and I was training him. And I was like, yo, let's just put up some shots. Let's work on your game. And then one neighborhood kid came, two neighborhood kids came. Parents started going, yo, do I pay you for this? And I was like, no, I'm already out here. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'd have like 4 or 5 kids like up in my driveway, like at a certain, what time, coach? And I'm like, wait, coach, like, wait, can I do this as a coach? And it was funny because like you, I played men's leagues before, and I found myself like constantly like talking to my teammates, telling them, hey, you know, when you see the game different,
Yep.
and like there's dudes who are athletic, and you're like, I'd be like, there, yo, drop one step back. I know what he wants. He wants to just pick and roll. He's and you start going, all right, why am I telling grown men this? They don't want to listen. So now it's like, okay, these kids are like clay, and that's what got me into it. I was like, I have this gift. Clearly, I have this gift. If I can see the game, like you can see the game, so like it's imparted to children.
Mm-hmm.
How I've heard Larry Bird say it was so hard for him to transition to coaching because he was a player. He saw the game so easily.
Yeah.
So when there was a dude who would come in and be like, and Larry would be like, wait, how did you not see this? Like, it's clear as day. How did you make that transition to be like, okay, these are kids, and because I still struggle with that. I'm like, why do you guys not see this? How do you get themselves out of your player shoes and into being a coaching shoe?
I feel like the biggest thing that I learned from being a coach to translate the information that you see to the kids is really breaking it down and getting it down to their level, right? Like not seeing it in the bigger picture where we already see it in a whole different lens as like men that we are now, versus dumbing it down a little bit and kind of making them see pieces like a puzzle.
Sure.
Right? So that they have a better understanding.
That's it's a great way. That's exactly what I think is like you take complex things. A good coach can take complex things and break it down to very simplistic things.
Yes. Step
here, move here, hips rotated this way, chin up, and then as opposed to being like, you got to come through this and just be like ready. That's what makes great coaches for me. What has been, since you've moved from a player into the coaching role, what has been your biggest like challenge? What is it where you're like, like I know I got to do this better, like, but man, like this is me, it's Mark. What has been like the biggest obstacle challenge that makes you not be able to wear that old player hat and transition to coaching? What do you find?
For me, it's keeping the emotions. If anybody that knows me knows, I'm a very emotion first coach, whether that's the technical or whether that's I'm very in tune with my players, whether that's the hype or whether that's the up and downs. Like it's kind of staying that even keeled, level headed, and knowing that I'm coaching and not playing.
Yeah. No, that's been my biggest challenge too. My biggest challenge is we played together and I'm competitive and I'll get on him, and it's just like learning like there's only so much I can control from the sidelines. Right? Like you want to be out there sometimes with them, and I got to remember that that's not it. Greg Popovich had a great quote, and I'll probably quote Greg Popovich a few times throughout these interviews, but one of them was he reminded himself never get too high after a win. And then like after a loss, don't get too low. Like it's just like stay even keel. You use the magical word, stay even keel. For me, Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson is his book I read a lot. Any NBA coaches that you were inspired by, or you're like, ooh, that's the guy. Like I like the way he does things.
My old school ones, I think I'm gonna go with. I love Pat Riley. Just the way that he's able to hold a presence in a room, and the discipline is like very key, right? Like he likes things done a certain way, even down to the weight of the players. Right. Like his standard is so high. And another coach I would say right now is Dan Hurley. My goodness.
UConn?
He's the guy. He's the guy.
I can see when I watch Dan Hurley's reels and stuff. I think I can see why you relate to him. He's probably closer to you than me. I've mellowed out in my old age, man. These grays are kicking in, and like it's different too when you're coaching your son. Like you got to try to remember like how to break off from something. But I think Dan's great. Dan is fantastic. For me, the older coaches is Greg Popovich. I love the relationship that he had with his players. One of my favorite stories was he had tickets to the opera one time, right? And his wife got sick and couldn't make it. And Kawhi Leonard found out that like, Pops didn't have anybody to go with. And he pulled up in his truck and was like, I'll accompany you. And then they asked him afterwards, he's like, I didn't understand nothing. But he was there for his coach, right? And that reminds me, like when he got sick, or when Greg Popovich got sick a couple of years ago, like players pulled up to San Antonio to check up on him. Like Manu was coming back from Argentina, Tony was coming back from France. And I think that tells you. And when you think about Pop, for those of you like who remember Pop on the sidelines, he's hot-headed as hell. He was on players, right? So I think I got to remember that part. Like it's okay to be hot-headed, but you're also like you're their protector. You're like their father figure. I see a lot about that in you. You got that big brother kind of feel from there. Is that something that took time for you to cultivate, or did that come naturally to you?
So honestly, when it comes to me, I'm very much a people's person. Right? Like I'm very caring, very selfless, and like with all the kids that I coach, like it's like they know there's an authority level, but at the same time, what you said about like Greg Popovich and the relationship base, everything I do is based off relationship and good intent. So I believe once you have that relationship, once you build that relationship between you and the player, and the rapport, like the trust factors there, which means like they'll run through a brick wall for you. And the minute that you got like 12 guys willing to go through a brick wall for you, like now you could go to war.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a great thing about Greg Popovich. It's like very relationship based. And I took that out like watching him as a coach and seeing the way he interacts with his players. It's like, yeah, I'm firm, but at the same time, like, yo.
Yeah.
Like I could be your little big brother too. Like you could give me a call, you need help with anything, whatever the case is, I'm here to help too. Because the goal is development is one thing, and the other thing is relationship. But it's also we're building young men, right? So we got to take these basketball concepts and also translate into life skills, right? And I feel like that's also a biggest thing that's kind of missing in the game right now, is because everybody's thinking about either winning or just development, right? It's never really both, because that's hard to do. And then on top of that, they're not also thinking like some of these kids, like we just got to build them to be good people. You know, and not everyone's going to make it, but as long as we could be like, you know, a good step through for their future to make sure that they do well, like that's a big thing.
For those of you, after this, we'll put all the Instagram tags out and stuff. And if you don't follow the Hoop Guru, I highly doubt there's anybody out there that doesn't, but go follow HG Elite, go follow the Hoop Guru. And I always think when Mark shares a reel, when Mark reposts something, there's a message in there. You got to read between the lines. And I know Mark, so I know where he's coming from. Like, this is a guy who's not predicated and defining his success by wins or losses or trophies. It's about a whole other slew of things, and other parameters define them. And I find, Mark, when you're a coach that does that, you don't get caught up in the wins, and you're not chasing them. Somehow, funny enough, the wins find you.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Because you're a winning program. Let's keep it 100. Like, you've won a lot, and yet when I talk to you, you'll be like, we have a player who we know mutually who recently suffered an injury, and I called Mark and I said, Mark, I think so and so will be back by December, and you're like, and Mark said, oh no, it's we'll take those losses. It's not about, I need the kid healthy, strong. And I thought to myself, okay, that's how you build that trust. You know what's best for that kid, and these wins just fall into you. Then you won.
100%. But like once you build that culture, like that family culture, and that trust between you and the players, it's the next man up mentality.
Yeah.
And the next guy's like, yo, I'm gonna play hard for my brother. That's out.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we build here.
Yeah, and that's I think that there's only so far X's and O's can take. Like I consider myself an X's and O's coach. I love having the board. I love having the ink all over my hand by the end of it. Yeah. But there's times when those X's and O's just get put aside, and the kids just need to hear those 2 or 3 words in that 30-second timeout. And like you said, they're ready to run through a brick wall for you. 100%. For you. And if you can get that belief, man, that's like the Rubik's Cube. You've solved it.
100%.
I already know the answer to this, but I want you to say it for the camera. You coach grade 8, grade 7. I coach grade 8, grade 7, dabble in a little bit of grade 9. As the kids are getting older, what are some of the challenges you find in this current basketball climate and culture?
The challenges for the kids or the challenges for me?
Challenges as a coach. Challenges as a coach.
As a coach, I think it's growing up with them. Like when you have the privilege of like coaching a set group of kids from like grade 6 to grade 8, you also got to know that they're not kids anymore, right? Like they're little young men. So it's like you got to speak to them differently.
Mm-hmm.
Also, their emotions might be intact. So
Mm-hmm.
the same way I talk to this person over here, I can't go and talk to this person over here. I should know the personnels, like know my player personnels,
Right.
right? It's like what we preach all the time as coaches. It's like know your personnel when you're on the court. But us as coaches, sometimes we don't take our own
100.
advice where it's like, listen, I can't yell at this guy the same way I yell at this guy.
Yeah.
Because this guy might shut down on me.
100.
And then I can't use him.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So it's just about knowing what you have. And I feel like that's the biggest challenge sometimes, depending on how the game's going as well.
Okay. I'm in complete agreement with that. I find that this is also an age where outside stuff starts coming into their lives.
Yep. There you go.
You know, there's relationships out in the school. There's other pressures. For some of these kids, they're about to enter high school. It's going to be a whole different world for them.
100%.
And I think you and I are alike in that is we've both had kids that have been with us for a minute, right?
Yep.
Which in this culture, like, is very rare because I'm going to ask you, my biggest challenge is, you know, kids getting into this trap of like rankings and exposure. Coach, I got to go to this team. Why? Oh, they playing so and so. How are you dealing with that? Just let's just talk that out. How are you dealing with this, man?
My thing with the rankings, I always say, if it's not ESPN, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, rankings change all the time, right? And at the end of the day, it's an opinion from either a parent or from someone that's not even really watching all the games.
Yep.
So like we have all these platforms that we also feel energy to, that let it affect our kids as well.
Yep.
We're out here, we're reposting it, we're talking about it, we're sharing it, we're doing this and that, when we could just really focus more on the development of the kids and less on the overexposure, right? Like, and it's not even real exposure at that point, right? It's just a bunch of names on a list.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that one person's better than another person. And some kids, they blossom later.
Yep.
So I feel like that is actually one bad thing that's actually in this environment right now with basketball. It's like the overstimulation of social media.
Yeah.
Right? And it gets to some of the players, so then they feel like they got to go to one team to the next team. You got to go to, number one, the team that you're valued at.
Yep.
Number two, where you're going to get the development and the trust. Like, right? Sometimes this person's path is not the same as your path. Like, it's just a different route and a different situation for different people.
Right.
Right. And sometimes following the crowd is not necessarily the right thing to do.
Yeah. My biggest thing is, you know, players trying to say, okay, we're doing here, we're winning, but now I want to jump to this other program. I'm going to be the 7th best player on that team. Like, that's not better for you. You getting, you know, 6 more players getting more touches than you isn't going to help your game. If you're like an elite player, go where you're the guy. Yes, you want to be surrounded by good coaches and good players, but I'm seeing this, like, dudes are out there building all-star teams now, man. Like, it's just, that's all it is.
Had my fair share.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, like, it's an up and down conversation because it's like certain kids need to be put in the fire.
Yeah.
Certain kids need to be with a different level of kids, right?
Yeah.
Like iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, I agree.
You could be the guy wherever you want to be the guy, but at the end of the day, when you go put them in another pond, they're not the guy no more, regardless.
Yep.
Right? So sometimes some kids need to be put in that situation, but it's about knowing whether you're ready for that situation or not.
Yeah.
And are you willing to work?
Yep.
And are you willing to prove yourself?
Yep.
And not every kid necessarily is that a good situation for.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like when you go down to the States and you go out, you're playing guys that are reclassified. So you have to go out with some good teams.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to work out on a shoe deal. Everybody's trying to go for certain things. It's like if you don't get the top talent, if you don't get guys that or develop guys to be the top talent, it's hard to compete with that type of stuff, right? Like when you have like the Nikes, the Under Armours, and like, you know, a lot of false advertisement going around, right? Like it's hard to compete with that if you don't get a chance to build something.
Oh, and that's facts. Like it's confusing. You and I are in the ecosystem. We're part of the ecosystem. Yeah. We are in these tournaments. We're in these loops, and we get confused. Bro, I get taken away. I'm like, yo, is this tournament legit? Is this tryout legit? Is this how did this team go from not existing 6 months ago to telling me that they're on this and this circuit? And I'm legitimately confused. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old trying to navigate this, or their mother or father who don't know any better.
Yeah,
it's gotten big, and it's got its pros, but it's got its cons as well too now.
100%, because there's also like a lack of education in that basketball aspect, right? Like at some point, just because a parent sees there's a program with a shoe deal, they think, oh my goodness, that's the best situation for my child.
Right.
Like, especially when you talk about the grades from grade 3 to grade 6, where coaches are promising them like pathways and all this stuff. Like, there's no point of promising a grade 3. Like, especially with the new rules going in, where most of these coaches are not even recruiting 18-year-olds anymore. Right?
Bro,
they're recruiting guys literally my age.
Bro, I don't know if you saw this. Just like was it 2 days ago? A player who had played 50 games for the San Antonio Spurs G League team reclassified back into college. Rick Pitino's got this story about this one player on the opposing team. He's got an NIL deal, and he's using that money to pay for his divorce. Like, game's not about being the top 18-year-old in your state anymore.
But this is where I also say where the game is also going in the wrong way, where it's like anybody could enter. Right? And when anybody could enter, there's also a problem. And then the guys that are at the top, they could literally tell parents whatever they want. And people are going to believe whatever they got to believe based off history as well. Right? Which also causes a lot of confusion with the parents and the players. And they don't know where to play. They don't know what's good for them. They think the name is what makes them. But it's at the end of the day, if you're that good, they're going to come and get you.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you're that good,
they'll find you.
And that is the realistic thing. If you're that good, they will find you. Nowadays with social media, you probably don't even need to go to some tournaments. Like, everything's live streamed. Like, at some point, if they want to find you, they're going to find you.
No,
we have the electronics nowadays. We have like all the stuff to make things work.
No, I'm absolutely in agreement with that. So taking it back to a little bit of a like personal coaching and stuff like that, practices, because I used to be somebody who used to be very reactionary. I used to design my practices. My Monday practice, my Wednesday practice, I designed on Tuesday. My Friday practice, I designed on Thursday, and I was a slave to like what happened the weekend before. Oh, we didn't break the press efficiently enough. We're working on this. I didn't like that we didn't take any corner threes. We're going to work on this. I spoke to you this summer, and you said you like to have about a 1 month vision.
Yes.
You still at that point? Because I've actually adopted that from you. I'm on a 2 week vision. I'm getting better. I'm on a 2 week vision now. But where are you at?
So I try to organize for about a month. Right?
Okay.
But at the same time, there's stuff that you have to adjust within that month. Right. So I have all my practice plans ready and prepared from in advance. And my thing is more about teaching the kids concepts, advantages and disadvantages. Because now if you look at the game, how the game is changing, it's like a lot of the game is that corner three, driving kick, getting those advantages, those 2-on-1s, those 3-on-2s, like whatever. Right. So those are like more the main concepts I work on. I make sure I have offenses that make these kids also critically think. I'm not just telling them run it like a robot. I'm giving them certain concepts, whether that's a zoom or like a zoom action or a hat DHO, multiple different concepts that they could do and learn back doors within the offense so that they're constantly learning. Right. And I feel like it's more reactionary. So that's how I usually run my practice. Everything is more making them think, putting them in game situations. It's not, we're going to do an in and out crossover. Like that's not real. Right. So that's pretty much what I do.
That's great. We're kind of going the same way now. It's a lot about decision making. Like we use the first couple of months of the season to work on their basics, and now it's like, okay, we're gonna give you guys are gonna come on a 3-on-0, and me and coach will come out with a mat and stick, and we might attack which 2 players, or we might leave the middle gap open, and we want every player to be able to think within 1 second. Oh, is this floater? I have the lane open. Do I attack? Nope. Coaches left the corner open. I got to see, and you got to read and react. Because I find like if you build, we talk about ball IQ, building their ball IQ, and it's such a loose concept for me because how do you build their ball IQ? And it's, well, how do I practice? Like when I trained as a surgeon, I worked on cadavers, like dead labs, over and over and over. How do I make this incision? How do I go through this? So too often what I find is coaches, what I find bad coaching is people who give like such rigid systems, and then when they're in the real world and that system doesn't happen, they fall because they're like, yo, I'm supposed to do this though. Like, how come this isn't happening? And they can't think on their own feet, right? And that's shout out to you. Like you brought that in, a lot of like active thinking. How do you keep drills fresh? Like what's your go-to sources? Where do you get your drill inspiration from?
So a lot of stuff I look up and like I read just like you. Different books. I make sure I'm also studying, right?
Mhm.
Because we can't tell these kids to work on their game and you're not working on
Mhm.
your craft too, right? So for me, it's like I read different books. I'm always searching up. Like I'm a big fan of UConn.
Okay.
So a lot of my sets and a lot of my defensive concepts, I make sure I'm watching different clips, different understanding of everything that they're doing in their playbook, and a little bit of the Golden State playbook as well.
Yeah.
So there's just stuff like that that I just keep trying to educate myself and keep getting better at.
Yeah,
Right?
I know.
So,
No, I appreciate it. You and I attended the seminar with Coach Drew Jones of the Raptors 905,
yeah.
and that became a hugely inspirational thing for me this year. Is that my teams relied too much on zone defense the previous 2 years,
Mm.
and I think I told you this year we didn't touch a in-game zone till my 6th game in. 5 games of just man.
Yeah.
And it because of the way Coach Drew, shout out Coach Drew Jones of 905, 17-0 start this year, but the way he incorporated that in and made it such simple sense, to me is like, okay, so that's who I've been following. I've been
Yeah.
following his stuff. I've been following Coach Darko because I know the Raptors run a lot of that similar. It's they're not a big team, the Raptors, because they got Scotty Barnes playing the 5
100%.
spot sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you have smaller guys and still be able to protect that rim, right? Like, I know your center, like when you got number 12 Owusu there, sometimes he's not a big body, but the way you have that network of shell around him to protect it, all he has to do is worry about protecting the rim, and everything else around him is. I love that.
Yeah.
Is that something like your movement to that kind of protective defensive shell system? Is that based off of your own playing time, or is it with something that you took from UConn, or just a combination of stuff?
Just a combination of like experiences and also different things that I was watching and learning, like whether it was UConn as well, more Houston as well. That's another
Okay.
thing. Watch Houston and the Spurs, like a lot of like their man to man with like some zone concepts. Like they
Yep.
do like a triangle man to man. Like
Yeah.
it's very hard to explain, but like
No, I get it.
it's something very like
It's hard to describe to. Yeah, it's hard to. We understand the language,
Yeah,
but like
I'd have to show you. Like,
it is. I see San Antonio, and especially with like when they had Manu roaming around there, it was really man and disguised as a zone, right? Like
Yeah.
he's floating back on someone, but he's clearly shutting someone down, or it's the opposite. It's man. They're playing man, but it's really disguised zone to try to force bad passes. So
My thing is more the stunting at the ball, being in gaps,
yeah,
making sure we're rotating quick. Communication is very key.
yeah,
We're not playing for no steal.
yeah,
We're playing to contain.
Yep.
And we're playing for the shot clock or whether until the other team messes up.
Yep.
Right. And that's how you I think you protect that paint. Because if you start reaching and start gambling too much, then everything just opens up. Whether you're playing man zone or
Coach, that's my philosophy to a T.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. I tell my team, the more times they make passes under pressure, they're eventually going to throw it out of
100%.
bounds, or they're going to throw it right to you. You can read gaps, but don't be sitting there trying to jump that gap, blow it, and then turn us into a 5-on-4, right?
Yeah.
If you put enough pressure on the ball and they have to forcefully move it into corridors where we want them to, they'll eventually settle for a bad shot.
100%.
And then we're good anyway. Yeah. Flipping it up a little bit. We're both head coaches, which is far different than being an assistant coach. When you pick an assistant coach for your staff, what are you looking for? What are some specific things that you're looking for? Because I got my ideas, but what are you looking for?
That's a good question. So anybody that knows me knows I always like to roll up with like at least 2 other coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it just keeps me sharp. I always have an older coach around me just to keep me sharp and wise.
Yep.
And make sure nothing goes over my mind.
Yep.
And then the other coach, like the secondary coach would always be like the other coach after the assistant would be a coach that's more defensively in tuned, or they have that hype, right? Where they can help and communicate towards the kids as well.
Okay.
So while I'm overseeing the whole game and playing chess with all these coaches,
Yeah.
like he's really good at when a kid gets subbed off, I have a coach that's able to communicate with kids and still get them back onto earth. They might be having a bad game. And it's like, are you able to mentally get that kid back on track? While I'm trying to figure out the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because to kind of do all that and figure out the game is a little bit a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot.
It is.
Right? So those 2 things are me. Like I always have an elder on my bench.
Yeah.
And I always have another person that is good with the kids' mentals,
Yeah, no.
right? And it keeps everything even keel for me.
So we're the same. Like my real age and my emotional age is like I'm vibing with my kids during practice. Like I'm telling them, yo, this new Little Baby mixtape is about to drop. This new 21. So they're looking at coaches like the cool coach. I got Coach Amit, shout out Coach Amit, who's like the older wise head, right?
Yeah.
He keeps things like, hey, you know, like he's the good dad on the bench, and he can keep things for me. I'm the same way because I got a younger coach too this year, Coach Meher, who's like, he's 21, and he's there, and he'll be like, yo, you know, it's cool, coaching. You know, when he yelled at you, it's all good, man. He's expecting this, right? So he calms them down and gets in, so that when next time when I get back into them, they know it's love, and I'm trying to get the best out of them.
Of course. Yeah.
So I'm the same way. I got like my even keel coach, who keeps me like leveled and is like the old head, and then I got the younger guy who can kind of relate to them. One of the things I'm very careful though about is not getting a yes man on the coach, because I have a certain level of like, I want my coach to not be challenging everything I say, because then we're arguing. Like if I'm this, and he'll be like, you sure you want to do that? I like a coach who says, all right, cool, I see that, but you want to think about doing this? So I'll be like, you know what, that's good. Now you got me thinking. Now you got me thinking during the timeout, but I don't want my decisions to be like questioned. You know what I mean? Because it's like 30 seconds to make these big decisions. How do you balance that of telling your assistant coaches, like, I'm empowering you to come with me to ideas, but like it's my theory is my hands on the steering wheel. If 4 hands on the steering wheel, we're going to turn the car over.
So for me, where I learned that big time was, it goes back before I even started like my own brand, right? Like it's where I was at BOA. Coach Brian Uso, and I would say shout out to Brian Uso, BOA. He helped me out a lot with that.
Yeah.
Where it's like we'd coach off each other. We'd bring it to the side. All right, what do you think? What do you think? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then right on the spot, we're figuring it out.
Yep.
So he kind of really did teach me and take me under his wing, where it was like, okay, like you got to hear out each other in a way that the kids still believe. You see what I'm saying? You can't go back and forth.
Yeah.
But in a way, we're challenging each other in a way that we both understand.
Yeah.
But in the same way, it's like, okay, we know what to do now.
Yeah.
Right? So he really helped me out with that. Another coach that helps me out currently right now, Craig Brown. He helped me out with that. The patience of like, sometimes just, you know, sometimes my way is not always the right way.
Yeah.
And understanding that, you know, I might have success with what I do, but then sometimes it's good to be challenged.
Sure.
And also put me in positions where it's like, he'll pull me aside and be like, you know, maybe we should do this differently. Your call, but maybe we should do this differently.
If you ever watch an NBA game, when they call timeout and the players are all coming back, the coaches never go to the players.
Nope.
They all huddle. They take about 10, 15 seconds. They get their stuff together.
Yep.
All right, we all on the same page? Cool. This is your idea. This is your idea. This is what we're going to go with. Then you come back and approach the players. I found that we started doing a lot more of that, and it's working. And just dialogue on the bench. Like I'll have my assistant coach be like, what do you think, and who do we need up here next, right? Like, you know, we'll go over the big lineup.
Definitely.
They'll be like, no, you know, I'm like, all right, I got you. Why not him, right? You trusting him in the game right now? Yeah, I think. And then we're already doing the talking. So when I call the timeout, I already got an idea. Because you know how these referees be. They're trying to get out of it.
That 30 seconds is like,
bro, dog. I put my chair down, and then they're like, first whistle, and like, no. Like, I got to put you on a timer here. So it is what it is. That's the game. All right. So moving from there, let's talk about HG Elite. Where is this? Talk to us about HG Elite. What is this? A little bit more in detail. Okay. And where are we headed with HG Elite?
So HG Elite, official rebrand.
Yes, sir.
It stands for Hoop Guru Elite. I'm doing it underneath my training.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to pivot the brand a little bit, as formerly known as K9 Elite.
Yep.
So like I said, the main thing is development first.
Yep.
Giving kids the platform to excel.
Yep.
And also showcase their skills without being that 10th guy, 11th guy, and sometimes not cared about by some of these top programs, right?
Right.
So that's the main goal.
Right. And then as you guys are, HG Elite is playing in Coalition. You guys got some summer programs. What are the short-term program plans here?
So this summer we're gonna play in the grade 8, like the U14 team is gonna play in Coalition Elite.
Yep.
We're probably looking at MPH as well.
Okay.
CNIT, that big tournament, and then a few other tournaments around. We're gonna go to Drew Joyce Classic
Cleveland, Ohio. We'll see you there.
And probably balling on the beach.
Yep, the big ones. Yeah,
Like,
that's why I'm gonna spoiler alert. My son's jumping over. He's leaving. He's leaving Nexus. He's going HT Elite. I'm losing my player now. This is with those who know Coach Mark and I. This is a very special club relationship. Doesn't exist a lot in basketball these days. I think where like clubs are working so closely together. It's a shark world, man. Everyone's eating everybody there. So, say less.
Me about it.
Let me 5 years from now, Mark. We're sitting back here in this bar. We're having a little bit of a beverage. 5 years from now, what am I expecting to hear? What Coach Mark's program is doing?
5 years. Okay. I'd say we're at 4 teams now. I'm looking at 5 years from now. We're looking at 10.
Yeah.
I'd say 10. Multiple coaches. Coach Mark could take a step back.
Yeah.
Focus on the main development.
Cap. This guy cannot help himself to get onto the court, but we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
Coach Mark could take a step back.
Yeah.
Could focus on all the development of training, and just keep going after that, and empowering the next set of coaches, the younger guys, bringing them in, and also just paying it forward, right? Like to all the older guys did for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. For us, it's we're trying to. I'm a big believer in know your lane.
Yep.
And then stick to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not Nexus Wolves are not trying to compete with this and that and that upper. And I think basketball needs to be accessible for a bunch of kids that would get weeded out of those programs. So for us, we want to have that kind of that. I'm going the opposite way. Lower grades. I want to get a grade 6 or grade 5 or grade 4. I want to have a junior MBA.
Yep.
I want to have academies, girls programs,
yeah,
girls programs. 5 years from now, man. And you and I are both big believers in God, like a facility. That's my thing, man. I want that. I want to be able to be like 9 a.m. Let's go get some shots up. Turnkey.
I keep that one on the hush.
Yeah. Big plans here. As this AAU culture expands, where does HG Elite find itself trying to occupy that ecosystem?
Like I said, I'm a firm believer of staying in your lane as well, right? So you have the top programs, you have the shoe deals. The goal would be like, hopefully, like, obviously it's something that I am very passionate. Hopefully we could get is like a shoe deal. And I feel like maybe we keep producing and keep developing the players that we need to develop.
Yeah.
Maybe we start getting the recognition that we deserve.
Yep.
And maybe we get a chance if that's the case. If not, like I said, continuing to keep the platform as the platform that also helps these kids excel and also give them a place to showcase their talents at a high level.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And that's for us. It's the same thing. Like I'm not trying to push the fade. I'm just trying to say, okay, slow. For me, it's like the biggest mistake that I see clubs doing is they want to jump in and all of a sudden have their hands in everything. Like, oh, we're gonna 10 teams, 12 teams. There's not enough players, and they're just basically borrowing other. And I'm like, just slow it down. Like, and I learned that from you. Like, it was 100%. Like, like you came in, you're like, Coach, come with one team, and two if you have enough coaches.
I started off with one.
Yeah.
Now I got 4.
Yeah.
I'm on year 3.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe year 3 now.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the right way to do it. Advice. This is a question I love asking. Go back, and if you can give Mark advice from 5 years ago, what would that advice be?
5 years ago, if I could go back and give an advice, be patient.
Yep.
Listen earlier.
Yep.
Surround yourself with wise counsel.
I love that. I love that. I think for me, that would be the third one would probably be very, very important too. Yeah. Listen, like the universe gives out signals, man.
Listen,
God lays out so many signals. And one of those sayings by Maya Angelou, people will go out of their way repeatedly to tell you who they really are. Just believe them the first time.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, I know. Preach. So, Mark, little fun thing here before we end this off. Because it's Friday night, it's getting late. Mark and I both got training in the morning. Because Mark, he can go much harder than any of us can, and he'll be back out at the gym 7 a.m. I can't do that at my old age. Can't do that at my old age. No, this is Mark and I we gotta create relationship because like he'll text me at 7 in the morning, and I'll text him back at 2 at night. Right? Like we're just exchanging messages. I'm a late owl, and he's an early riser, so it's great. And I think what I always found interesting about our friendship is we're always buzzing with ideas.
Yeah.
70% of them might fail, right? But we're out there, new jersey design, new this design, new thing. Hey, I got a track. I want to run this. I want to run that. Like for me, I don't understand how people are like stagnant. Like and all due respect, I'm like, you're not moving. Like for me, shout out to my old program. But I couldn't go through this, like, we need weeks of approval and meetings and this. Yeah, I'm just like, let's go. I got an idea. I need to act on it. Let's go.
So that's the same thing with me. For me, I have so many ideas in my head. It's like to sit down to just talk about it. Sometimes you just got to do it. I got to talk about it later. Right? And that's just what it is sometimes. Right?
100.
To have to sit down and really think about it and think you might not do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take that risk. You got to put it out there. Boom. And just do it. Right? So that's what it is for me too.
Yeah. So a little bit of fun, little break here before we call this episode to an end here. Got to know a couple of questions here. Some rapid fire. Favorite basketball team of all time? Like a certain era, a certain thing?
Of all time?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to go. I like that. Steve Nash, Phoenix Suns, 8 seconds or less.
Okay. Revolutionized basketball, coach. They revolutionized basketball. The way the game is today never happens if that team doesn't happen, in my opinion.
100%.
Right? They walked so the Golden State Warriors could run.
100%.
And Mike D'Antoni, I don't think he gets enough credit because we're in such this ring culture that if you don't have one, people look at you like you didn't do anything.
Fair.
But Mike D'Antoni, man, he revolutionized the game. So shout out there. That's a great one. I'm not sure I can compete with that. For me, 2018 Cavs. It was Kyrie was gone. Kevin Love had kind of taken a step back, and it was just this like, how can we use one player to bring the tide up for everybody? Right. Kyle Korver had his career season. Matthew Dellavedova, Tristan Thompson's playing great, and I thought, okay, that is how. If you have one good player on your team, you can raise everyone. A system that raises everybody up. I love that one. Favorite player of all time? Not the GOAT. Not who the GOAT is. Who's
my favorite player? Give me a couple.
Give me a couple. Give me one right now.
My favorite right now.
Give me one right now, and then give me one back in history, coach.
My favorite right now? That's Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, you've said that before.
Right now.
He's
that
kid's
boy
the truth.
Is nice. But of all time, bro, you gotta go LeBron. LeBron's the GOAT.
Yeah, we don't even get into the GOAT. Coach Mark and I are simpatico on that. That man is. That's how you want a basketball player to be, right? And just be
on and off the court.
Yeah, on and off the court. For me currently, Scotty. I enjoy watching Scotty play. He keeps the game simple. He's not out there shooting 33s because he knows that's not a strong point. He's developed himself into being an effective player by just trying to play his game. I think there's some simplicity in that, right? Just this is what I do well. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well. Of all time, of course, LeBron. I'm going to give a shout out to VC. Nobody excited me like Vince Carter ever did. Greatest
Blake Griffin.
Yeah. That's
Blake Griffin?
That's a good one. That Lob City team was something special. That Lob City team was something special. Player, if you last 20, 30 years, who you feel as a basketball mind you can appreciate, but no disrespect to anybody by using this term, but the casuals. Maybe the casuals didn't appreciate because this guy's game was not, wasn't spectacular, but it was the little things that he did right. Think back to anyone that you can come up with that?
Like a sleeper.
Like a guy that a basketball aficionado would be like, yeah, no, that's... And it can be a star, but even still didn't get enough credit.
For me, I'm going to say one of the greatest basketball minds, Rajon Rondo, man.
Yeah? That's fantastic.
Rajon Rondo,
yeah.
man. Yeah, that guy's mind is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his IQ is insane.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go very similar. Rasheed
Wallace? Yeah.
Rasheed Wallace. I heard Greg Popovich say. I said we're gonna go back to. He said that the 5 smartest players he had ever come across in the history of this game was LeBron. He had him at number 1. Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and then Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace has an eidetic memory, whereas if he saw, there's a famous clip where the NBA TV, they have like the camera on the baseline. They've got the player, they're recording,
Yeah.
and he's literally watches the team run out of the thing, and he's like, "Yo, they're running this and this set. He's gonna run down a flare. He's gonna pin him at the nail him at the top free throw line. They're gonna flare left. This is a shot action for right." And you see the other team's whole face just go, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah.
and it turns out he had this thing of like, we see Rasheed Wallace as this hothead, but he was this like, he was like the Rain Man out there.
Yeah,
He was literally pushing Ben Wallace got Defensive Player of the Year awards because Rasheed kept pushing him into the right position, being like, "Just stand here, you're gonna get the block, right?" It's dope. He doesn't get it. Cade Cunningham. Give me one other player, someone that you would want to take back to the HG Elite players and say, "Look at this dude. Look at him. Copy him. This is a guy who's about to come up." Cade Cunningham, and who else? Give me one more.
Oof. Oh, you gotta go Shea, obviously.
Yeah, that's the one I was.
But no. Stephon Castle. I like Stephon Castle right now. She's the one everybody likes. But Stephon Castle, that boy is nice.
Yeah, I really like him, his game as well too. I think a perfect pairing for Wemby as well, man.
Yeah.
It's just perfect pairing, just to put them all around here. So, listen, we could probably talk for about 2.5, 3 hours more, Coach Mark and I, because we're married to the game, right? Students of the game. Coach, tell everybody on Instagram where they can find you.
HG Elite, H.G.Elite basketball. And you could also follow me at The Hoop Guru.
That's with 2 U's at the end, by the way.
2 U's.
Yes, at The Hoop Guru. I encourage you, man, follow it. You're going to learn a lot about God, and you're going to learn a lot about basketball. And sometimes the two of those things combine for him. Mark, it's been a pleasure. We've been trying to do this for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Chop it up. And we'll be back for episode 3 whenever we get a chance. Peace out, y'all.